Hello and welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where Kathy and I today, we've got a big reveal. Kathy, why don't you tell everyone what's going on here?
I have ordered the new Porsche Macan EV. I've done it. It's ordered.
Keep this car for at least 3 months.
Oh, I know you will.
Yeah? Why is that?
You'll see.
What do you mean you'll see?
I have something for you.
Well, what do you have? Just give it to me. What do you got?
I can't. I'm driving. I have something for you later.
A present?
Yes, it's a present.
Really? Okay.
It's a present to me.
All right. So here we are. Tesla's right up, honey. Tesla's right. It's up the road.
I know.
It's not here.
I know. I just want to pull over quickly.
This is building supply. Out of business buildings. What?
I have something for you.
This is the thing you told me about before?
Yes.
You
no,
have
I'm
some?
not kidding. I have something to give you, and I'm doing it on your video, and you are not allowed to delete this.
I'm not recording.
Do you understand? Well, then hit the record button.
All right, I am recording.
Oh, okay, good. You're my witnesses. I have a contract for you.
This is an official.
You are free to read it out loud.
I hereby swear. Is that me or you? So I hereby swear, swearing is not good.
Oh my God.
That I will not underline sell Kathy's Model Y.
That's right.
I don't know if I can sign this contract. I will also not underline, even remotely suggest that she goes to a dealership to just look at another car for her. This contract expires on 6/15/26.
3 years. 3 years. I would like for once to keep a car for 3 years. And now you're all my witnesses. This is really what I want to do. I would like to keep.
All right, hold on.
I don't think I need anything else. I think
Hold
you're going to sign right here.
I'm not. Hold on.
There's a little spot here.
I'm not prepared for
that
this.
says sign
Hey,
here.
You're getting a little aggressive, woman.
I am?
Listen to me.
I don't think so.
I don't have. Can I call my lawyer?
Your lawyer is my lawyer.
I'm not. I need to edit this.
What do you mean? It's perfect. I made it just the way I want it.
This first sentence here, I hereby swear that I will not sell Kathy's Model Y.
Right.
Okay, I will sign up for that for 3 years. But if that doesn't mean that, if for some reason...
If I make the decision to sell the car, that's not you.
Right, okay,
saying,
all right, I'm
Kath,
good.
I've got a great idea. We should just go look at...
No, but I do, that's the part I want to, that's the part I want to take out. Because going to look is...
No, we always look at cars, but I know you're free to trade whenever you want.
Okay, so we can go and look, but I'm not going to suggest.
Not for me. It's you, and I feel strongly that I love the Y so much. I've always loved Tesla. I've been a fan of Tesla. I just want to be done. I'd like to learn a car for once, get to know everything about it.
What happens when they come out with the refresh next year?
I don't think I really care that much about
But if you do care about it...
If I care about it, that's different.
All right, I'll sign this.
I'm not going to care about it.
I'll sign it. There you go. Right there. Okay? You all can read it. You can snap it. There it is.
That's right.
All right. Can we go buy the car now?
Yes.
And I just want to say for the record, I did not break the contract. Who did? She did.
I always had that right. Remember, I always had that in my back pocket.
She always did. I mean, maybe Kyle and I convinced her a little bit, but
a little.
But there was one day back in early April of this year. Many of you saw it right here on this channel when Kathy and we went down to the New York Car Auto Show, and she saw the Macan EV for the first time.
I think we have a problem. Kathy just looked inside the Macan EV, and she goes, I love it. Oh, man, I wonder if the contract could be broken. Could the contract be broken?
For this, it may be.
Oh.
I've been anxious to get over here to check out the Macan.
All right. Why don't you take me on a little visual tour of this puppy? Hold on.
All right, well, here is the Porsche Macan Electric. I have been anxious to get over here because I loved my regular Macan, and I thought the prototypes were ugly a year or two ago.
Wait. Can you check your Apple iWatch and see if your heart rate is increasing?
No, it is. I feel it. I'm actually a little aflutter right now.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Love this electric vehicle. This may have my name all over it.
Really?
Well, you know what a fan I am of the Porsche Macan anyway.
Yeah.
And so just see how nice it looks electric. And I was able to peek inside a minute ago.
Yeah.
And it is Porsche. It's those seats. It's got a great center console.
I mean, like, I thought you fell in love with me when you first saw me. No.
No, you fell in love with me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I fell in love with her. It was that purple jumpsuit is what it was.
Yeah,
It was,
I
yeah.
forgot
I
that.
fell in something. I don't know what it was.
Anyway, we went to the New York Car Show, and if you saw the video, I saw that Porsche Macan EV for the first time, and honestly, my heart was all aflutter.
And actually, that car we saw in early April, we've had one on order since May, and we're going to take you through the spec today and some of the sort of the logic behind the scenes, things that have been going on behind the scenes a little bit today. So let's get into it and have some fun. All right, so for those of you who are like totally confused about, you know, all these car transactions that's been going on in the Connor family.
Don't feel bad. I'm confused too.
Well, yeah, it may seem a little confused, but there's actually a lot of logic to it because here's the thing. Kathy was in a Model Y. It was a 2021 Model Y, a white. And all of a sudden, one day we drove up to Fort Myers, Porsche, and she's
Florida.
in Florida. Well, Fort Myers is in Florida.
Well, not the whole world doesn't.
Oh,
know
that's true. Fort Myers, Florida. True. Good point. And they had a blue Macan all-wheel drive, but just the base Macan gas car. And at the time, Kathy was missing her Macan S that she had. Beautiful car.
Beautiful.
But she got rid of that for the Y, and she wanted to get back into the Macan. Now, the Macan EV we've had in the back of our minds for a long time.
Well,
It's
they
like
kept saying it's coming.
it's coming, right? It's coming. So, you know, that was kind of a little bit of a, you know, maybe a holdover car, the Macan that she got, the blue one, which was a great car.
Best car.
But then what ended up happening was I was like, Kathy, you got to come down and see this new Genesis GV60 down at Genesis House in the meatpacking district in New York. She's like, I don't want to go. I hate the meatpacking. I don't want to go down there.
I actually like it now.
Yeah, well,
it's gotten a little trendier.
Right, because
Very trendy.
Lucid's there and Tesla's there and
Great
Genesis House.
restaurants.
Really cool place to go to, Genesis House, if you're ever in the area. And so I didn't know what she was going to think about the Genesis GV60, but to me, it kind of looked like a lot of the prototype video or pictures we were seeing about the Macan EV, but it was available now. And so she went down and fell in love with the GV60 and ended
A
up,
lot of that reason was because it was very Porsche-esque.
it was. And
I had that sporty little vibe, and the car had massaging seats.
it did have massaging seats. And that's the one thing. Your back has been hurting you lately. And so the commute to work, she wanted to have. But the thing about the GV60, it only had one massaging seat. And it was like air bladders that were.
Oh, yeah.
But it was okay. It was a great car. A really, really good car. We decided to get rid of the GV60 because we had, at the time, two CCS cars. All right, I had bought the Lucid Grand Touring, and I thought that was going to be our road tripper. And I just had such a mess with the CCS infrastructure and such frustration and charging anxiety and not range anxiety, charging anxiety, that I was like, Kathy, we really got to go back to just having, having one Tesla
and maybe one
CCS car. So she ended up getting rid of the GV60 and got back into the 2023 Model Y, which is what you drive today. Great car.
I still love.
Great, amazing car. And interestingly, what was good about that was we bought that car after it had come down from, remember, it was like, I remember one day we woke up, I was like, honey,
No. We didn't wake up. You woke me up in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah. Everybody will probably remember.
Sleeping?
Yeah.
Are you sleeping?
Are you sleeping? Like,
Yes.
Tesla
What?
just lowered the price of the Model Y by $18,000 after, with the federal tax credit and all this stuff.
And I think I rolled over and said, go ahead, order.
Whatever you want to do, go ahead and get it. So anyway, at the time, we were able to get out of the GV60 and fast forward to April of 2024.
This
year. We go to the New York Car Show, and there she sees it, the Macan EV.
And I'm just going to preface that with my expectations were very low because I'd been looking at prototypes.
Yeah, the spy shots.
And I was like, I don't know. It doesn't look like a true Macan. I don't know. It looked really weird to me. And I was thinking, oh, okay, I guess I'm never going to get a Macan again because I don't like the way they look.
And you're not going back to gas this time, so...
I'm not allowed.
Well, no, you're allowed, of course. Like 3 pedals is good, but,
There it was at the New York Car Show.
So she falls in love, says, holy smokes,
Dead.
What is that color? They had the turbo there.
Oh, yeah.
They had the turbo in ice gray metallic. Kyle was like, oh, you got to get the Provence. You got to get the Provence. And with the berry interior.
It's actually beautiful. And had I had a few cocktails, it may have happened because it is really gorgeous. But
some of you new to the channel, I just took delivery of a Model 3 Performance in the Quicksilver with the white seats, and I love it.
This one's a keeper.
That's a keeper, right? So and it really is.
It really is.
I've had it for almost 3 weeks.
That's a long time for you.
Anyway, all kidding aside, we'll see. Time will tell. Okay, time will tell.
I personally would like you to keep it.
Listen, that's my race car, right? That's my race car. So we ordered the Macan EV, and what we want to do today is take you through what we ordered back in May. And
here it is, mid to late October, and still not in.
Yeah, we still don't have the car in. And by the way, it's been delayed. The car that we ordered back in May was built on July 8th. And it's been sitting in the port in Freeport in Texas, which is a brand new port that just opened on October 2nd of this year. And I'm going to make a whole separate video as to why Macan EVs are being delayed. I've done my research and I have some answers, but that's going to be a separate video. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to take you through our build of the Macan EV, what model we got, and all of the different features that we chose and the reasons why or didn't choose. And the idea was to kind of build a Macan EV that would be the road tripper. I mean, this car is charging super fast at 270 kilowatts. At 50% or even 60% state of charge, it's still going to be in the low 200s, if not close to, 240 kilowatts. So, kind of betting on the fact that the 1,000-volt V4s are going to be in place, the fact that the Macan EV put the DC fast charging port on the right spot as being a Tesla owner,
right,
for being able to put energy in. And also, quite honestly, we were hoping that the CCS network would get better, which in a lot of travels that I've been doing recently, I don't know about all of you, but we found that the Electrify America network has been quite a bit better recently. So ultimately, we're going to show you now the spec that we've done for the Macan EV. So let's get into that right now. All right, so let's go into the Porsche website right now, and let's go ahead and build a Macan. Now you can see all the different versions of the cars they have here. You can still buy the ICE gasoline version of the Macan, and you still will be able to for at least 18 months, maybe 2 years, who knows. We'll see when they cut over, but we're going to go ahead and build an electric. Now, back when we first saw the Macan EV at the car show, there were only 2 versions available of that. It was the 4, which is an all-wheel drive, and the Turbo, which is also an all-wheel drive. A lot more money. So at the time, there were only 2 models available. Most recently, I was just over in Germany, and I drove the rear-wheel drive and also the 4S. So there was a little bit of, wow, maybe if we were looking for the ultimate, spec in terms of the road tripper, maybe we made a mistake and should have waited for the rear-wheel drive. But you know what? It's only got 7 more miles of EPA range, 315 versus 308 of the 4. and the 4S is about, I don't know, it's about $7,500 more than the 4. And so we'd rather put some money into, we're actually happy. Bottom line is we're happy with the fact that we ordered a Macan 4, not a rear wheel drive and not a 4S, which just recently came out, which I've driven both now. And then you just recently drove the 4 the other day at Electrify Expo out in Uniondale in Nassau Coliseum. So this is the base model electric right here that you'll see. What we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to show you the Macan 4. So this is being shown in Provence right here, which is so you'll see it starts at 78.8. We're going to build the vehicle, and the first thing that Kathy wanted, it was really interesting because at the car show, the turbo was in ice gray metallic. And you were like, that's the color I want.
And I didn't know anything about that color.
And we didn't.
It was just stunning.
Yeah, we didn't know enough to ask what color that was. And then we left the car show. And then afterwards, we found out that it was ice gray metallic. And, you know, when you think about it, ice gray metallic, this is the first option that we chose, color. And it's only $690 option. Now, I say only because when you think about Quicksilver on a Model 3 or a Model Y, that's $2,000.
That's a lot of money for paint.
That's a lot of money for paint. So $690 for ice gray metallic is a bargain. So
thank you, Porsche.
Provence, you know, is a $1,240 option. And you just, you know, if you were maybe a few years younger, you would
just
say,
a few decades. Anyway, I'll tell you a funny story about Provence.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to Kyle about, I think I'm going to build the car. I think we're going to order it. I'm really excited. He goes, Mom, you have to go with Provence, or you have to go to the Provence. Something about go to. And all I heard was go and Provence. I said, Kyle, when am I going over to France? I have a job. I don't think I have any time to get there. He started laughing.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the color.
To me, I don't know. It looks lavender to me. It's nice, but I'm glad we went.
Honestly, it looks better in person than it looks on the website.
Yeah.
It really
As a matter
does.
of fact,
It's a beautiful color.
It is a beautiful
really
color,
is.
especially with the berry interior.
It's all berry inside.
Oh, man, it's crazy.
It's really cool. But if I was 30, it would have been that color.
Yeah.
But not
And since she's 29, she didn't go for it. So anyway, we did ice gray metallic. The next thing we wanted to do was to keep the wheels at the 20-inch spec. You know, you can either get 20s or 22s. The wheels that it comes with, when you look at the wheels right here, you'll see that there's a lot of aero covering on them. So this wheel right here is the wheel that we went with. And the thing about the wheel, the difference in circumference, when you look at the outside tire between the 22 and the 20, it's not that much. But the aero difference is quite a bit when you're looking at, let's just say, some of the 22s that like if you look at this 22 Macan Sport, that's a $4,500 option, which is tough to swallow. But look at all of the openness in that wheel right here. That's where you start to really degrade on the range. By the way, one other point is the 4 gets EPA rated range of 308 miles, whereas the 4S is 288 miles of EPA range, which is the same as the Macan Turbo. So we decided to stay with the Macan wheels as the standard wheel, even though they have a 20-inch Macan S wheel. I don't know. We like more of a silver wheel than a black wheel. All right. So, and I think that we were both in agreement on that.
Yes.
Okay. So the next thing that we wanted to do. Now, why don't you talk about the interior? Because this is where we sunk quite a bit of money into this vehicle. Is the interior. Talk to me about the interior.
Well, just to preface all of the choices you can make when you configure a Porsche. It's not one and done. They really give you these options. You can just go with whatever suits your fancy. Let's say that. So all of us have a little bit of a different opinion about what's important. So this was, I'm going to call a triangle decision between me and you and Kyle.
Yeah.
There were many discussions about what's the right configuration and all of that. But I have to say, to both the boys' credits, at the end, they realize this is my vehicle, this is my car, and I'm going to do it the way I would like to do it. And I know that a lot of you out there may go, oh gosh, Kathy, you should have gotten this and should have gotten that. Yes, and we've been back and forth, but what's really important to me, I got. So the interior.
And originally, you didn't even want leather. You were like, we don't have leather. You don't have leather in your Model Y, right? So, I mean, but the problem is, if you want to get, what's the most important thing for the seats that you want?
I had to have massaging seats.
Massaging seats. So in order to get the massaging seats on the Macan, you have to go with the 14-way seats. The 18-way seats, you can't get the massaging seats on. I believe it's the same on the Taycan as well. So we had to tick the box for the leather package, and you wanted a lighter interior color.
Light interior.
So it's a black and chalk interior, which we've seen.
It's stunning.
And it looks amazing.
Stunning.
It's not the full leather. We didn't go full leather, which is the limestone beige. It is a lot nicer. It is softer. I've sat in it, but I will tell you that the base leather that's in this car, in the chalk, is really quite nice.
And I've sat in that, and it's lovely.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
So now, as far as the seats, in order to get the massaging seats, you have to upgrade for another $1,350. You have to go with the 14-way comfort seats.
Right.
Excuse me.
So I said, okay, because ultimately
you need the massaging seats. So in order to tick the box for the massaging seats, it requires the 14-way seats. So when you think about it, you're putting, let's just say, $1,310 into the massaging seats, $1,350 into the 14-way, and then $1,180 into the chalk and black, right, interior. So that was where you wanted to be.
Yeah, that's my priority.
Okay. One of the additional things that you get when you do spec the 14-way seats with the massaging seats, it also gives you the cooled seats as well. So they're perforated, and it will look a little different than the 14-way seats that you've seen, like at Electrify Expo, because the material is a little bit different because it's perforated.
I understand.
Okay. But there was one other thing that Kathy really wanted on her seats.
I sure did.
Which actually comes down.
And it was the cheapest option that I chose.
It was the cheapest option. Now, the thing is, when you get the turbo on the 18-way seats, it says turbo right in the seats. Kind of like in my Model 3 Performance, where it's got that little performance.
Right at the bottom of the neck.
Right, yeah. There's this little triangle, a rectangular thing. You can't really get that option on the 14. But what's the one thing that you had on your Macan S that you loved?
I don't know.
We're talking about,
Oh, I didn't remember I had it then. Yeah. I just like it for this. So on the headrest, it will be embossed Porsche.
Right.
It looks nice.
It's a $300,
very subtle, but there it is.
$300 option. So you can see the way these seats look. You see how there's like a little bit of a gray color to them because that's the perforated. So when you take away the massage seat, you'll see, here we go. There we go. You'll see how it changes the color a little bit. And so it's going to look a little different than what we've seen so far, which is pretty cool. All right. The premium package, we decided not to go with. It's an expensive package. And the reason for that, when you look at what's in it, is you get the power seats 14-way. Now, this is a controversial one. Bose. There's three different stereos you can get in the Macan EV. There's the base stereo, which everyone says, including many people that I've talked to from Porsche, dealerships and corporate, like, yeah, you don't want to go with that, right? There's the Bose stereo, which is only $990 option. But what it does is it takes away the space underneath in the trunk for the subwoofer. And then there's the Burmester system, which is $5,600, which sounds amazing, takes in the entire, space underneath. But that wasn't even a consideration. But what happens is, Kathy, what do you do all day?
I listen to music.
She listens to the music all day.
So people think this is you're going to think this is odd, maybe, but I'm a musician. And after teaching music all day, when I get in the car, the last thing I want to do is listen to music.
Yeah.
So for me, the stereo system bass, which everybody is disgusted with me on it, but I only went with the bass stereo.
Bass
and
stereo.
I don't care.
No subwoofer.
I want the space underneath. I know it's not a lot of space, but I feel like when we travel back and forth, you know, if we're going to Florida to Connecticut and back, we literally use every inch of the interior space of the Tesla, which has, I think, more underneath, more front, more back, undercarriage. So I feel like if I put that big
Listen, your car, your decision. Rumor has it there are some engineers from Germany that are going to fly over when you take delivery of this car just to see what that thing sounds like.
Oh, is that right?
Apparently no one's ever spec'd a Porsche Macan EV with the bass stereo before, but you did. Okay,
I'm out of spec.
That's right. So anyway, and then the other things that were ventilated seats, which you get because you're going to have.
Which I don't love, but they're good to have.
Well, you don't like ventilated seats. I will tell you.
You love them.
They're really good. The ventilated seats on the EV. Macan EV are very strong. I tested them out in Germany. And then heated seats in the rear.
Must have.
No, in the rear? We don't need that. What is Bailey going to do? Have heated seats in the rear?
What if there's somebody else in the car with us and I get demoted to the back?
You're gonna have a cold butt because you're not going to have heated rear seats. You're
Oh, I thought I got heated seats.
No, in the front, not in the rear.
Oh, that's fine.
And also advanced 4-zone ultimate climate. So do we need to give people in the back 4-zone? No.
They can suffer.
All right, so that's why we didn't go for the premium package, okay? Now, the next thing that we looked at here, there's an off-road design package. I've seen it. It's okay. I don't know. It's minor, but we're not doing that. Typically, people, when they get the off-road design package, they get the off-road wheels, which are in that Vesuvius gray color, the 21-inch wheels, but we didn't want that. Now, as far as the exterior goes, this is kind of the off-road front fascia, the mirrors, we're getting it all.
There were so many choices to make, and they're some
door
of them
handles.
seem so, like some seem so minute, but
the side blades
it makes a difference.
We're just getting the basic side blades. These are, these have been on the Macan for a long, long time.
They look great.
The blades that come standard are not the high gloss black. They have little like triangular pyramid shape in them. They look really good, and we're not going to spend any more money on the blades. Now, roof and transport system. This is something that Kyle felt very strongly about. Which, first of all, the U.S. spec cars the Macans come really well spec'd with. They all, no matter if it's the rear wheel drive, the 4, the 4S, or the turbo, they all have a 100 kilowatt hour battery, full capacity, 95 kilowatt hours usable, which is great. But they also come with a panel roof,
which is beautiful. And I do miss that in the Tesla. Well, it's got all that beautiful glass. I can't open it.
And this you can open, you can vent it, you can open it, and it also has an opaque shade that covers, power shade that covers. And every single variant of the Porsche Macan EV, from the rear wheel drive to the turbo, comes standard with the panel roof, which is great. But the one thing it doesn't come standard with are roof rails. Now, if you look at the top of this roof right here, Kyle's like, Dad, Mom, you got to get the roof rails. Kathy's like, $410? We're not going to spend $410 for roof rails.
Because I don't think I'm putting anything on the roof.
Right.
I'm very practical.
But when you check the box and you see the spec, tell now that you've seen the car,
it has to have roof rails.
It has to have roof rails. So Kyle, you were right. I mean, it just looks better. Now I know, look, it doesn't have to have it, but for our taste, we prefer it. If you don't want it, save your $410. I would say
put it
that
into the stereo
especially on the lighter color cars, I think the roof rails in black look really good. You can get them spec'd in the same color as the paint. You can do them in aluminum. But, all right, the other thing is that we didn't really want, but Kyle said he wanted to do some testing with it from a towing standpoint.
Oh, yes.
And then as I thought about it, I do have from the Model X, I have the bike rack to be able to haul bikes. So I thought, you know what, why don't we go ahead and get this trailer hitch? It's only $660.
And it isn't ugly. It actually is very sort of hidden away.
Yeah,
It isn't ugly.
it's in the way. One thing is the European spec cars, they get the most awesome trailer hitch because it actually power folds up inside. So you don't even know the car has a trailer hitch. But on this one, and this will tow 2,000 kilograms, which I think is around 4,400 or 4,600 pounds. Good enough for a couple of snowmobiles, jet ski, definitely for bikes or something like that. Or if you're gonna tow a small U-Haul trailer or what have you. All right, so now let's continue on. The exterior decals and logos. This, we just got the basic electric, where it says electric on the side in silver. But
I think you could have had it in the color, right? Your paint color, if you wanted to.
You could do it. There's all different combinations. High gloss black.
Yes.
But yeah, we didn't really do much with that. Performance. This was a controversial one, the rear axle steering. So look, when I drove the EQS SUV, the rear wheel steering was unbelievable. That thing turned almost as sharp as let's say an ID4 rear wheel drive or even a Mini Cooper. And it's a big SUV, but it has 10 degrees of rear wheel steer. The Macan EV, it's a smaller vehicle. Now they've elongated the wheelbase on the Macan EV over the Macan Ice, so it is maybe not as good a turning radius. But I think what this does is under 50 miles an hour, the wheels in the rear turn in the opposite direction as they do from the front wheels. And what it does is it reduces the turning radius from around 39 feet to 36 feet, a solid 3 feet tighter, which is great. But I think it's one of those things that once you get used to it, it's a $2,060 or $2,030 option. Then, it's not something that I think you wanted to have.
I don't think I would get that much value out of it.
And Kyle?
Wanted it.
He wanted it, but we didn't go for it. That was your decision. And now over 50 miles an hour, what ends up happening is the rear wheels turn in the same direction as the front wheels. So you kind of carve through turns at speed like a knife. And supposedly it's an amazing feeling, especially at higher speeds. But you know what? We didn't opt for it.
Well, because in the end, I am more about aesthetics. I put the money into the aesthetic look of the car.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Because the rest of it, it's still a Porsche Macan. It's going to drive great.
Now, one of the other things that all of the US Spec Macan EVs come with standard, again, not in Europe, is the adaptive air suspension. And this is really an amazing thing because what this does is it gives you 4 different modes. It gives you normal, it gives you sport, sport plus, and off-road. Now, I didn't really test the off-road when I drove it in Europe, but the difference between normal, which is just floating down the road, and then when you turn up the dial on the steering wheel and you go to Sport Plus, it just firms up the whole car. It changes. Like, I've had a lot of cars with these,
Really?
different suspension.
Oh, did
That
I
was a
say
shot. That
out
was
loud?
a shot right there. Really? I've had a lot of cars, yes, but I've had a lot of cars with adjustable suspensions before. And sometimes, like, I remember, I think even your GV60, it had these electric dampers or something. I was like, I didn't feel the difference when you went into the sport mode on that car. Supposedly you did. I didn't really feel the difference. This one you do. This car comes standard with it, that's an amazing feature, which is great. So we didn't check the box for the rear axle, but obviously adaptive air comes with it. Power Steering Plus comes with the car. That's an option over in Europe. This is speed sensitive assisted steering. It reduces steering effort, whatever. I mean, it comes with the car. So, all right, now the Porsche electric sport sound. I will tell you that both Kyle and I we love the sound of a good old internal combustion engine ripping through a Mustang GT. Or sometimes you hear those Audis going down the road, just ripping, or like, a nice GT3 ripping it. Of course, we love that sound. But to create a fake sound in an electric vehicle, I remember back in the day, I figured out how to disconnect the sound for the Kona at low speeds. I went online and I was like, that's stupid. It sounds like a Martian lunar landing going on. But I will tell you, we did not get this option. But I will tell you, after hearing it in Germany, it sounds pretty good. And so if you're not that sort of purist that you just want to hear nothing, I would tick the box on that for $500. It's pretty darn good. I would say the engineers at Porsche did a really good job there. Unlike the Macan, unlike the Taycan, the Macan has a single speed transition. So you're not going to feel that shift like you do in the Taycan, where it goes from first gear to second gear. And first time I experienced that in the Taycan, I thought I broke the transmission. I didn't even realize there was a transmission. But this is a single speed transmission. It comes standard with that. Lights and vision. We didn't check any of the boxes here for, let's say, the LED light. Oh, we did go for the rear wiper, 370 degrees, dollars, not degrees. So the reason for that is because snow, dirt, grime.
Actually, I thought it was odd that was an option. I really thought that should just come with a car,
a lot
rear wiper.
A lot of people, like your GV60, didn't have it.
I know, and I know there's some cars where, the rain is just supposed to fall off, but being in Connecticut, you get, a nice light fluffy snow and you just choop, and off it goes.
Heated windshield, $450. We didn't check the box on that. Just turn up the...
You just turn up the defroster.
Turn up the defroster and
Put on the windshield
wait 30
wipers.
seconds more. $450.
No.
I've also had issues in the past where elements in Range Rovers have caused issues with blocking radar detector, the ability to detect radar. And so, not that we use a radar detector that much, because we don't usually, but mostly just Waze. But in any event, we didn't check the box there. Okay, let's go into the interior packages and trim. There's so many different things you can go crazy. Be careful. Make sure you got a big HELOC on your house. Deviated stitching interior. I mean, look at this. This is crazy stuff here. We skipped all of this. None of that we went with.
None.
You can get colored seat belts on this car. Oh wait, here it is. Porsche crest on headrests, right?
That's the one.
That's the one we did. You checked the box
and
on.
I was non-negotiable on that.
Right.
Some people in my family didn't like it.
What happens every time you get in and out of your car?
I say Porsche.
Right. So
it helps me remember.
All right. So she got the Porsche crest on the headrests. Only on the front, not on the rear.
Right.
Bailey, you're gonna have
that
to.
would be a little much.
You're gonna have to suffer, Bailey. You can get different steering wheels covered in different. We just got the base steering wheel, the Race Tex one, or wrapped in leather. We didn't do any of that stuff. Although the car does come with a heated steering wheel, which is
always that's the other mandatory requirement, right? I have to have a heated steering wheel, heated seats, and boy, when I can get massaging seats, I'm so happy.
Yeah. All right, and then let's see, all of these different things. We passed on all these things. Center control armrest with the Porsche crest. That was a little excessive. Even you said no to that.
Right. It gets to a point where it's ostentatious. So that's no good. Just a little something.
You want to get the personalized owner's manual wallet for $420 to keep the manual in a leather. I don't know.
Thank you.
Different keys. You can get different. You want a fire extinguisher for $140.
I hope I don't have a fire.
Now, some of these other things here, I don't know, like the colored stop chrono. We didn't get any of that stuff.
I just think the good news is, though, Porsche really allows you to personalize
customization.
what you want, right?
Be
because
careful.
we all like something different. But boy, the price of the car, I mean, it's already pricey, but it can really, really get up there. I had a limit of what I was comfortable with.
We're up to $87,065 now. The assistance systems. Now, this one here was a debatable one, because I remember when you had a BMW 4 Series convertible, and you had the heads-up display, right? It was a great car. But what Porsche has done with this augmented reality is truly amazing. It's not cheap. It's $2,530. I personally would say it's worth every penny, but
I didn't want it.
one of the things and one of the reasons why Kathy said no to this is because the heads-up display can only be used to a limited extent while wearing polarized sunglass lenses. And what do?
My sunglasses are all polarized.
And they're prescription.
And they're prescription.
So the benefit of this would have been during the nighttime, not the daytime.
Right.
And so she passed on that.
And I hear a lot of people really like it, but I've also heard on the other side that some people don't like it. So I feel like I did the right thing. I don't think I need it. The screen is very nice.
It's amazing.
In front of the steering wheel. It's clear.
Everything is out in front of you and it's interactive. So the idea of augmented reality is it's converging the digital world with reality. And so I was driving a Macan, I think it was the 4S, and there was a Hyundai coming over into my lane, and I was using the augmented reality, and a little hazard light went on, like a little square with a hazard button went on the car, and as the car was coming over, the hazard light went on it, and it started beeping. Like, it was amazing. It was really amazing. The traffic, the directions, it gives you arrows. It's all in the screen, and it's all out in front. It's big. So good.
And I remember my BMW. It was just
it was small.
Right. It was small. It was right off.
This is next level.
Yeah, this is.
And it takes up. You've got an 87-inch diagonal windshield, and it'll use the whole, like, depending on what's going on, interactively, it'll change and it'll use that. I
just felt for me, because I'm not a video game girl, I just thought it might be a little much.
So we didn't check the box. The surround view with active parking, we also didn't check the box, 1090. This is where you get that 360-degree camera view, which is nice, but sometimes it's a little weird and confusing.
But I get the beeping if I'm too
You get the
close to
beeping because this car does have sensors. It's not unlike the Tesla. It does have sensors. It's not just vision only. The other thing that this does is have active parking support. Now, I don't know about you guys. I park my car myself. There's been too many horror stories when you say, okay, find a spot, park it, and then you curb your wheels, right? Yes. And then what happens with that? So we just didn't want to spend the money on this feature right here, and we gave up the 360-degree. It's nice, but we saved the money on that. Now, InnoDrive with active lane keeping, this is a must-have. So this is basically it's lane centering. It's driving. It's the ADAS system that it goes a little bit above and beyond adaptive cruise. It's actually keeping you in the lane centering. When you do change lanes, it's not going to change the lane automatically for you. You put your turn signal on, you take the lane manually, and then it recaptures the lane, just like HDA1 on any of the EGMP platform cars. It's not as sophisticated as FSD with Tesla, but it's okay. But you have to have that for long. This is our road tripper. And just, we had to get that. The car does come standard with lane keep assist, which is the thing that sort of bounces you off the right-hand lane or makes a noise or pushes you back a little bit. But if you really want to have true lane centering, then you need to check off the InnoDrive with active lane keeping.
And how much was that?
$960. Mm-hmm. And that was non-negotiable, right? That was definitely something we had to get. Comfort access, this is basically you walk up to the car, it unlocks itself. There is a key. Your phone is not a key for this car. Right. So you actually get a fob, and but you don't have to fuss around for it in your purse. Right. You just walk up and it knows it's on you. 4-zone climate we didn't get. HomeLink it comes standard with. We're not smokers. Let's see, what else? That was pretty much it, except for the choices on the stereo and the passenger display. So you get a curved 12-inch screen in front of the steering wheel, and then there's a 10.9-inch rectangular screen, nowhere near big enough, in my opinion, for me. It's when you're used to a Tesla screen, or even a lot of the newer vehicles like the Rivians and all that, you're getting big screens in these cars, even the Mach-E's, right? Yeah. So this is a relatively small screen right here, but you can opt for an additional screen, which will pop up right here. Mm-hmm. Now, the cool thing about this screen is that the passenger can watch a YouTube movie, this whole car is run by Android Auto, and so you could watch a Netflix movie or a YouTube video, and the driver, the way they've set it up, can't see the screen, so you can actually watch a movie. We talked about it. It's only it's $1,500, and then Kathy said, "Look, if I want to watch a movie in the car, I'll just bring my iPad, right?" So we didn't get that. And then the controversial Bose surround system, which we didn't get.
Controversial to you, I don't care.
Yeah, it's your car, right?
Have all those German engineers come over.
The Burmester high-end sound system, that wasn't even a consideration. $5,690? Are you kidding me? So, and then the last thing was this power charge port door.
Right.
And
we had a lot of discussions about that.
We did have a lot of discussions about that, and we opted not to get it.
Right.
It's one more thing that can go wrong, and it's a little bit slow when you have to touch it with your hand.
And you have to wait.
And you have to wait, and it opens, and then you can't just push a button for it to close. If you put it in drive and drive away, it'll automatically close. But we ended up just getting the basic standard old school.
Fine.
So those are the features.
Yeah.
Let's just look at this right here. The build. Let me look at the price information. Here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's go over the whole build, right? $78,800 is the base price. Again, keep in mind the rear-wheel drive is $3,500 less. And one thing that you do, you get an extra motor in the 4, meaning all-wheel drive. You also get 0 to 60 goes down from 5.4 seconds to 4.9 seconds in the 4. If you go for the 4S, it's 3.9 seconds. If you go for the turbo, it's 3.1 seconds. But the 4 is really all we need. The other issue is that, again, keep in mind, EPA on the 4 is 308 versus the 4S, which is 288. So this is a more efficient, that's assuming 20-inch wheels on both the Aero wheels. So we decided to go with the 4. The other thing that the 4 has over the rear-wheel drive, because you have an extra motor in the front, you also get quite a bit of regen more than the rear-wheel drive. 240 kilowatts versus just 200. So very strong regen. It does not have one-pedal driving. We've all been through this. You know, the PPE platform that the mothership Volkswagen delivered to both Audi and Porsche, Audi decided to provide one-pedal driving on their PPE platform car. Porsche decided not. Maybe if we make enough noise out there, they'll give it to us as an option. I know they can do it. Right, guys? You know you can. So, all right, let's go through the specs. So we did ice gray metallic.
Yeah.
We did the base 20-inch. These are the wheels that are the Aero wheels. We did the leather package in black chalk, the 14-way comfort seats. We did the the ventilated seats with the massaging. Mm-hmm. We did the roof rails in black aluminum, which is going to be great. We did the tow hitch for $660. We did the rear wiper for $370. We did the Porsche crest on the front headrests only. We did Inno drive, and that was it.
Yeah.
So that's the spec of the car, and we're excited about this. So anyway, what are your thoughts, Kath?
I'm excited. I don't know when it's going to come in, though. I've been waiting.
Yeah.
We ordered this a while ago.
Yeah.
And
so here's the deal, folks. Another video, I'm going to make that, and I'll put that up next. The car was manufactured on July 8th. We ordered it in May. It's a 2024 that we're getting. The NACS support will not come probably for another 2 years natively, but once Porsche does provide NACS support in the form of an adapter, they'll automatically send that out to us.
yes.
And hopefully that'll be first quarter of next year, which means that we'll be able to go to Tesla superchargers. Because this is a high voltage car, the most we'll probably see is maybe 125, 135, somewhere in there. We're not going to see 45 kilowatts like on the Lucid when I plugged into the Magic Dock, or 105 kilowatts on the GV60. We'll see more than that. But, you know, and then as the V4s start to roll out, we'll definitely start seeing really, truly fantastic speeds. The charging curve on this car is insane. The regen is insane. And so we're real excited about, you know, how this is all going to play out. So, but the issue is that this car has been at the port since August in Texas. Now, I'm going to make a whole video about what's going on with that, and I'm going to put that live. I've done quite a bit of research as to what's going on, and we're just going to have to wait for this car. So,
well, it's a good thing I'm patient.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, like ridiculously excited. And don't get me wrong, everybody. I love my Tesla Model Y, but I never would have gotten that if the EV Macan had been on the market.
Yeah. So anyway, we're running, as soon as this Macan EV comes in, we're going to have the Macan EV4, and we're going to have the Tesla Model 3 Performance. To me, that is the garage. That's the keeper garage right there, folks. So I know this has been a long one, but hopefully it gives you a lot of color. Maybe helps you a little bit in your decision-making if you're speccing out your Macan EV. What an amazing vehicle. We've both driven it now.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
It's
love
so
it.
planted. It's amazing. Please watch Kyle's reviews over on the Out of Spec Reviews channel. He goes through this car in great detail, really knows it extremely well. And, oh, one last thing. This car, the reason why it's in Texas is because we're going to be taking delivery of this at Fort Collins Porsche, I should say. And the reason why we're taking delivery of this car in Fort Collins is because
20 guesses.
we are very close to Fort Collins Porsche. Kyle especially is. We appreciate everything they're doing for us. And also, Kyle's going to have this car for a little while. So
I don't think it'll be that new by the time
we're most
I get
likely
it.
going to fly out, right?
I would like to see it hot off the press.
She'll
I
take
really
delivery
would.
of it, and then we'll fly home.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing all the range testing and the hogback testing, and then I'll probably either I'll fly back out or he'll road trip it back, and then we'll have it, and then we're going to have a Model Y for sale. So if anybody's interested in Model Y, let us know.
And I think I'm going to have the Model Y still for a little bit.
A little bit,
longer.
yeah, a little bit longer. So anyway, thanks again, everyone, for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave. Kathy, this has been fun. We appreciate it. Hopefully this answers a lot of your questions as far as what we're doing, if you care. So enjoy. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care now.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.